Ew. Here. Hi everybody, it's PJ, and today I want to talk to you about how to astral project and the quickest, easiest way that I found to work when you're trying to journey, which is what I call it, going on a journey, going on a trip. It is a trip. Like, no matter how you look at it, it's a trip. In my mind, I'm actually going somewhere. I almost said physically, and that's not real, but I'm going somewhere. There is an actual place that I'm ending up. I don't believe it's on this earth, but I do believe that it's right next to us, and that just science hasn't hit that point yet where they know about it, although there's tons of theories that say that I'm right. And, you know, some people experience it and some don't. But I want to try and get you to, if that's your wish. So the first thing I can't stress enough to you is meditation. I don't even believe that I could do this if I wasn't meditating as often and kind of as religiously as I do. And when I say religiously, to me, it is a type of religion. Like, that is where tons of my spirituality comes from. I don't consider myself a particularly religious person, but I do consider myself a hugely spiritual person because I want to live a mindful life. And that's a whole nother video. But part of that, becoming even aware enough to live a mindful life, in other words, not letting life like drag you where it wants to drag you where it wants to drag you, but actually like thinking and knowing where you're going and why and that kind of thing. I mean, part of that comes. I hope it didn't look wonky. Anyway, sorry if it did. Part of that comes from living a mindful life, like thinking about what you're about to do, being aware of your thoughts about what you're about to say, don't just reacting to stuff. A lot of that comes from meditation, because when you meditate, you get to the core of you, the inside strength, the inside weakness, the inside of you. And you can decide, make a decision whether or not that's who you want to present to the world. And that has a lot to do with what I do every day. I try to maintain and follow a certain path of meditation. When I meditate, I usually, not always, I can meditate without any help whatsoever, but I like to use binaural waves, And what those are is like hemisync. Now, what hemisync means is you have two hemispheres of your brain, okay? And they operate independently, which, like, if you ever saw the kids that have really bad epilepsy and they remove half of their brain and yet they still can walk and talk and function because they do it so early in life that the other half of the brain can totally take over. They are not synced together. So when you do hemisync, it takes two different radio waves and pushes that at you, and you hear it. And because one is on this level, and I don't know exactly, it's like hertz or whatever. One is on this level, one's on this level. Your brain syncs them. So your brain will go left, right, left, right, left, right. And what you hear is wow, 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 wow. Because that's like the two different rates. When that happens, it really makes your brain super powerful. And things that you weren't capable, thoughts and feelings and are way capable of that point, because you have now like kind of opened up a new threshold of your mind. I swear, that's like kind of the layman's don't know what she's talking about terms, okay? So with that being said, I like using that for meditation. It feels like I get to my chakras if I'm doing chakra cleansing, and chakras are different points on your body that you clean out by spinning and clearing all of the, they call it congestion, that runs through to make your body run nice and smoothly with you. But in those chakras, you have your throat chakra and your third eye chakra and then your crown chakra. I actually was taught that you have a chakra above your crown chakra. And that chakra is the one that I use to travel if I'm trying. Now, there are times that I feel like I have invitations to travel. Like this morning, like the time change was this morning. So I was confused on time. I got up, walked around, and then I went back to bed for a while. When I went back to bed, I almost felt an invitation to travel. I didn't take it. I've had an uneasy feeling, so I didn't take it. But I've had many of those where it was like an invitation, like, here, if you want to travel, come on, I'm ready for whatever I am. You know, it's like kind of drawing you in. And that happens to me a lot. Most of the time, I go when that happens. But sometimes I don't. I didn't go this morning. The other day I said no because I was exhausted from doing it all night. And that's the other thing, is you're not really asleep when you travel. So if you're really super tired and you have to wake up for work, try not to travel on a day like that. Now, I use the HemiSync, that syncing both sides of my brain to kind of beef up my power, my soul, if you will, to be able to remove itself from my body and go out into the universe and travel. So, what I do is I start with my third eye chakra, which I just picture it spinning, just a beam like of light, like spinning. Then I go to my crown chakra, spinning, and I just picture this. I imagine that they're spinning. And then I go to the one above. And with that one, I always picture it black because it goes like blue, indigo, right? But I always picture the one way above everything black, and that it's spinning and it's really big. And then what I do is like, and I'm using my breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth. So you're doing, it's called circular breathing, by the way. When you circular breathe, you breathe in through your nose and you push your stomach out. I know that sounds like the opposite of what you do, like if you're not thinking, but again, it's like being mindful of how you're breathing. So you would breathe in and you push your belly out so that you can open your diaphragm and your lungs all the way down to your belly. Like that's the way it is. It's like, and you hit that bottom part of your lungs, you know, you can feel it. And then you breathe out through your mouth and push your belly in like that. That's what you do to meditate. It's also what you do to travel, especially if you're not asleep. If I'm trying to travel and I'm not sleeping, like, because a lot of times travel happens like right on the verge of sleep. So if I'm trying to travel and I feel myself like falling off to sleep, I will concentrate on my breathing, because that seems to be like the trick. I think there's a connection to meditation and travel and how we get to both, to that feeling that you get, okay? Yeah. So once you start feeling the vibration, now if you're just starting this, I'm gonna tell you what the vibration is. Did you ever get woken up suddenly, like right as you were falling asleep, and like your body's like zzz? That's how it starts to feel. Only it gets way deeper than that. Like it starts as that moment of when you open your eyes and like the world's coming back to you and you're like like that kind of tingly in your face. I don't know. It's almost like your body's asleep, like when your hand's asleep or something. and it comes back very quickly at that moment. But when you're starting to travel, that vibration will start, and then it gets deeper and deeper, like down in your belly. You can feel it. It's like, and you start to vibrate. And the thing that I always picture in my mind was once I saw a video of my stepson jumping out of a plane. And as he went down, his face did this with the wind, like his face flat, like in the wind. That's how the vibrations feel like. I feel it most right here in my face, like right here. And it's like, whoa, and it'll stop the minute you snap over. But if you don't snap yourself over, then then eventually it just kind of goes away, fades away, and then you don't. But anymore, like I don't even have what is with this? I had to do something to this hair. Anymore, I don't even have the vibration anymore that much. Like maybe a tingle of it. Like that kind of is my cue that I have now crossed over. It's like an afterthought. It isn't like it used to be where that was like the most notable thing that was going on before I traveled. Now it's almost like I just travel and then I'm like, oh shit, was that a vibration? I think I'm starting to travel. Like that's what it's like. So it all changed. After you get like kind of good at it, you realize that it isn't so far away. It's just right here. It's just right here. And sometimes I can even tap into that like wide awake sitting here. Like I'll feel like something's right here near me. And I'll like kind of try and look into the window, like almost like a window, like just break it open for a second and get a glimpse. I try. I'm not totally successful, but I'm not totally failing at it either. I don't even know if that's like uber impossible or not, but it is like a glimpse that I can catch now and then. And that glimpse, I think, brings clarity for me, okay? So little signs along the way, little flashes of white light, and I look and they're gone. But if I concentrate and feel myself, I can kind of like open that window just a touch. I really haven't gotten huge insights in that way, standing up, being aware, but I know people that have, not personally, but I mean, I've listened and talked and read about people that have. So that all being said, when you feel that vibration, that's when you need to pop out of your body. And the best way for me to do it, like some people say roll. I've had people say just roll out of your body. Some people, I sit straight up. The first thing I do is go like, I pop out forward. Everybody does it the same different way. But the biggest thing with me is I don't always know that I've done that. I mean, I would say 30% of the time, I think I'm really sitting up in my bed and I'm not. And I'm really not. But that's that moment, you know, when you're like, okay, am I traveling? Am I not? And I've had a few moments like that, especially recently where I was like, totally unaware that I was traveling to the point where I was like, wait a minute, where are the dogs? You know, like that. But shit happens like that. Once out, try to have some sort of idea what you're going to do. This is where I got screwed up for the longest time. I really didn't know what I wanted. After Jeff died, I just wanted him. Like it didn't really matter how. And that came to be that even though I wanted him and would go find him, because I didn't have like a plan about talking to him. The intention is everything. So if I didn't have intent in my mind ahead, then I would end up wasting that time with him anyway. Not necessarily wasting altogether, but at least with him. So have your intentions set. This is what I want. It isn't that I just want to see Jeff. I want to talk to him. I want to have a conversation. I want to be sitting in a cafe with him. I want to be sitting. Now, that doesn't always happen, but at least if you have an intention, you're way more likely to do it than if you're just throwing caution to the wind. The other thing is, have a place to go. Right now, my curiosity has gone beyond just the ordinary stuff you do, jumping on wires, and I love to jump on wires. It was so cool. You can't even imagine. It's probably funner than anything in life. But The jumping on wires is cool, but I'm not learning anything. And I've decided that the next time I go for a longer, because sometimes I go for very quick amounts of time. All I do is get a glimpse of what's around me or a glimpse of what I'm supposed to be seeing, I suppose. And then I'm back. But I'm trying to stay out there longer. And my next long one, I guarantee you, I am going to have an agenda. And that agenda is going to be, one, get the name of the people that I see. I never ask anybody their names. Why? In life, I would ask you your name, but yet I don't. It's almost like I kind of have a vague idea of who they are, and I just flow with it. I don't want it to lead me so much as I want to lead it a little bit, okay? So I'm changing my ways. I'm upping the game. So I'm going to start asking everybody their name that I run into. What's your name? Who are you? What do you and I have to do together? What is it that we're supposed to accomplish? Because I'm sure that they have messages for me. I just don't know what they are yet. But that's how I feel. I want to find out who they are and what they want specifically with me. What am I supposed to be learning? 2, I want to know where we are. I never ask. And that I have thought of before, but because I get like lost in what I'm doing, I'm like, oh my gosh, like that girl kind of led me around by the nose the last time I was like a long time in there. And it was wonderful, don't get me wrong, but now I have all these questions. So I want to make sure I have them prepared for the next time I go. I'm going to know what I'm going to ask and what I'm going to say. And I'm going to see who I meet along the way. 3rd, I want to know if anybody else that's there is just traveling. And can I get their name? I would love to be able to go up to somebody who's traveling alongside of me and say, what's your name? And if he says, you know, Bobby Jones, where are you from? I'm from Ithaca, New York. Okay, I'm going to call you when I'm out. And see if he remembers or recognizes. I've heard that a lot of people can travel together. And I would love that, to have one other person in there with me that totally knows what I'm going through and is going through the same thing. How friggin' cool. Come on. Come on. So those are the things I want to do. When you hit the point where you're vibrating, push up, however is more comfortable with you, for you. For me, I have to sit up, get out of bed right away. I don't languish there. But some people, they roll. They just roll out of their body. Some people, like, once I rocket shipped myself right to Route 40. You can do that too. I just like closed my eyes and pushed so hard. Biggest thing is, don't be afraid. If once you hit the other side, the first thing you're going to do is freak out. You're going to be like, oh my God, either good, bad, fear, not fear. Doesn't matter. It all does the same thing. It wrecks it and you jump back to your body. Tell yourself, which I did. That was my agenda. And I told myself to remain calm. Be calm. Just be calm. And you know what? I was, and I got to travel all night long. It was amazing. Every time I would get to that point, I absolutely stopped myself. That's what you need to do. So for right now, if you're just starting out, start meditating. They're on YouTube or all kinds of binaural waves. Use some hemisync binaural waves and get yourself out there starting, okay? Use your breathing. And once you start going through, do not freak out. Tell yourself, be calm. Because honestly, I know that there are scary beings out there. There have been a couple I've run into. I've talked about them in other videos I've made. But the truth is, I'm still here. I'm okay. I haven't been hurt. So I don't know that there's not anything that can hurt you, but so far nothing has. Thank God. I don't want to be hurt, so I don't want any proof that you can. But the other side to that is, I think you're okay. Relax, stay calm. You can always get back into your body very quickly by getting afraid. Like the minute you're afraid or shocked or stymied or excited, you snap right back. So try to calm yourself down. Try to figure out what it is somebody or something's trying to tell you. Look for everything to learn. That's what I want to do. I want to know What can I learn? Can I travel to another planet that has life? I mean, come on. That's like, come on. So if I could travel to another planet, maybe talk to creatures from another planet, understand their language, know what they're saying to me, let them show me things from their planet. Can you imagine? Like, that'd be some crazy stuff. That would be insane. I would love that. Start meditating right now. It makes all the difference. Use your breathing. And when you use your breathing, go up to beyond your crown chakra. Go above it. Big black chakra just spinning and spinning and spinning and kind of breaking open, okay, and letting you go through it. That's kind of what I picture, okay, is I always like try to get that thing going. And then once you go through, no freaking out, calm yourself down. Remember your agenda. Say to yourself, I'm going to remember my agenda. And if you go through for the first time, make sure you jump on the wires because that's so fucking fun. But if it's not, try to remember what you want to do, kind of like a science experiment. Get out there, do what you got to do, and have a bunch of fun doing it, okay? And then, of course, lastly, I want to hear all about it. Post it down below here. Like, I want you all to go out, go meet 1,000 different creatures from 1,000 different universes, people, creatures, animals. I want you to post it all below, every single little detail of everything you see, because I think heaven's a geography. It's just not on our maps yet. All right, guys, I love you. If you'd like to follow me down the rabbit hole that is my life, hit the button down below and subscribe. Give me a thumbs up. If you like these kind of videos, a thumbs down. If you don't, either way, got you watching me. Manifest something great in your life. If you know it, think it, believe it, you can have it too. And it could be like a journey to Mars, like a journey to another galaxy. Nothing can stop you. Like, it's as big as there are bigs. So go travel and let me know, okay? Let me know where you go. Maybe I'll meet you there, all right? I love you.